Here's a short highlight video from our visit to see Claressa Shields take on Ivana Habazin in Atlantic City, or should I call it the top-ranked boxing takeover, as they took over Showtime. Shakur Stevenson, Jamel Herring, Terrence Crawford, Andre Ward, Dre Ward. Sorry, Dre. Forgive me. It was top ranked night on Showtime. They took over. Also, Zab Judah was in the house. Anthony Durrell. Did I say Jamel Herring? If so, if I didn't, Jamel Herring. That's also top ranked takeover. It was well, let's talk about what we previewed. First of all, there was Alicia Napoleon Espinoza, who got upset, in my opinion, with Eileen CEDERROOS. She came to fight, and I don't know if I thought it would be. I thought the skill of Napoleon Espinoza would see her through some rough spots. She didn't fight exactly the way she should have. I don't know if she underestimated CEDERROOS. No matter what, you got to come to party. This is it was a title unification, and CEDERROOS got her. I mean, there's no other way to explain it. She lost. Lou DiBella, he, in the video you're about to see, he kind of said that he thought that Napoleon Espinoza won, but nobody on press row thought she won. At worst, at the absolute worst, you could say it was a draw, and then she got knocked down and lost that point. But she didn't get it done. And in the co-feature, see, to me, if Shields and Habazin, or Habazan, I should say, it's pronounced different ways. If they're fighting for 2 vacant belts, and then Espinoza and CEDERROOS are fighting, each of them hold the other 2 main belts. And basically what you're setting up is a unification to find out who's going to be the undisputed. Make that the co-feature, because that's what you're setting up. They chose to, because to me, you're playing favorites, so to speak. If it's a unification and then another fight for 2 vacant belts, and you're setting up later on in the year, as we predicted here, well in advance, if you're going to set up a bout to see who's going to be undisputed at the weight, then those 2 fights should be the final 2 fights. They didn't do it that way. They squeezed Jaron Ennis in between those 2. So anyway, nobody will care. Nobody cares, I guess. As far as Ennis, he gave himself, you'll see in the video, I asked him very quickly how he score himself. I think he said a C-. And you know what? I'm not mad at him for doing that, because there's some things that he needs to fix. But you never know if a fighter is fighting another guy a certain way because that fighter might be limited. We just don't know. But they put him in with a guy who you can kind of punch all night long, and he's not going to go anywhere. He's one of those tough to knock out guys. And Ennis got hit. Duran got hit, and as I stated, I don't think he's the type of fighter that wants to get hit, even when he's taking a guy lightly. I think once you hit him a couple of times with a certain punch, he's going to say, all right, I took you for granted, but let me stay away from that punch because I don't like getting hit. But he kept getting hit with a left hook. It was a left hook counter. So Duran, with the superior hand speed, he would get off. And then as he's finishing his combination, he would get hit with left hooks. And kept getting hit with left hooks. And so I'm like, well, whether you're taking the guy for granted or not, that's something that needs to be corrected. In my opinion, I'll have to watch some more footage of other fights. In my opinion, that's a flaw. That's a technical flaw. And Ayubov took advantage of it. What more can I say? Now, to his credit, the guy never been stopped before, and if he was somewhere other than Atlantic City, where Larry Hazard will stop a fight if he sees a guy taking too much punishment, then he will. Then maybe that fight would have went on, but it was a good stoppage. I don't know what they said on television, but it wasn't the referee stoppage. It was Larry Hazard. And it was a good call. That guy, there's got to be some kind of residual. There's some brain damage, for sure. But Ennis was his usual self. I mean, the hand speed, the combinations, everything's there. He's just, as he steps up, he's just not going to throw one punch and knock a lot of guys out, but his power should be on par. And then speed equals power also. So, and Ennis is one of the few guys, he's not like Andre, not Anthony. He's not like Andre Durrell or Dre Ward. Sorry, Dre. Where he can fight some moments. Southpaw, or orthodox for Durrell and southpaw for Ward. Ennis is more like Terrence Crawford. I think he can fight an entire fight, or at least a few rounds southpaw. I think he has that type of capability, and not just a guy who can kind of switch hit, a la Tyson Fury or what have you. So, and then in the main event, we called for the knockout, and Clarissa Shields, for as promising as she is, let's say skill-wise, she should be knocking people out like this. She should have definitely scored a knockout, and she went for it, but she just doesn't possess the power. But in this instance, I think if you stick to your technique, and take your time in there, I think she could have got a knockout, but she didn't. We were wrong on that prediction, and so on and so forth. But anyway, so here's a little short video clip of what went on from Ocean Resort Casino, or Ocean Casino Resort, or however you want to say it, in Atlantic City on Friday night. Check out some highlights and check out the Top Rank Takeover. Ring Girls, Clarissa Shields, Ivana Abizan. We're in the house. Got your man Zeb Judah in the house. Shields versus Habazan, Atlantic City.
Can you go?
We got Terrence Bud Crawford in the house.
Listen, I'm ready. Let's go.
At Shields versus Habazan. Let's go, champ. Let's go, baby. Keep that jab on him, baby, all night. Be sure. All night. All motherfucking night. Let's go, ladies. Come on. Keep that jab all night.
Supervisor Shivana hosting, along with the IBF, the president, Daryl Peoples, and the supervisor is Randy Newman. Introducing the 3 judges scoring from ringside. From New Jersey, Mark Constantino. Also from
that was a great fight. It was a close fight. I think she won it. It could have gone. I mean, that girl, I knew that girl was dangerous, and I was right.
But Lou, in your opinion, despite the outcome, do you think Alicia would match up better with Shields than...
More athletic, a little bit maybe different. I mean, you know, I think that she reminds me of Hammer a little bit. She's got that long jab, the reach. She reminded me of a bigger, stronger... I think that Ellen would beat Hammer. I think Ellen's like a bigger, stronger version of Hammer. You know, I think that this was a very good fighter Alicia fought tonight. That was a very good fighter, man.
Yes.
Really good.
Yes. All right. Yeah, Paul. Rock up in this one. Hey, what's up, brother? First time, bro. First time champion without Let's go. That's not the night job, baby. How easy was that shit? Don't make you kick it back. No, that's okay. Yo, Bruce, what took so long, brother? Come on, man. Give yourself a grade.
No, I'm not.
Give yourself a grade, man. How you grade?
Let me see. I got to watch. I think it was like a
Okay. There you have it. He gave himself a C performance. Ron Ennis, baby. TheFightJournal.com. Oh, we got a little Terrence Crawford in the house. Hold up, baby. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. We got Jamel Henry up in here.
I'm supporting the future.
Okay.
I'm supporting the future right now. You feel me?
What's next for you?
May, I'm going overseas because I don't care about no fight. You know, Carl Frampton next, baby.
Okay.
I'm like anywhere. Old school.
We see you tomorrow night, right?
Oh, for sure.
All right. All right.
Right now, we're one of the champs in here. You feel me?
Oh, damn. Yeah. Shakur, T. Crawford, Jay Herring. We in here. We doing our thing, baby. FightJournal.com. Andre Ward. My fault. Dre.
How you doing? Who you with? I'm the
That's boss lady right there.
I know, how you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how you doing? Who you with again?
I'm with the FightJournal.com.
Okay.
All-Star Lions. Yeah.
So, everybody, we got a dance that we're gonna do before everybody start walking. She got okay, I'm just saying, like, don't have to go.
We're doing a dance. Dress, I ain't doing that too.
Who got a pocket? Who on my phone?
JDJ.